Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Monday, July 14th. It is 6:25 right now. We got market opening up in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and finish setting up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. So let me mark up zones over here. So we got some supply zones. Let's see, 44,500, 44,600. It's going to be supply zone one. All right. This level's at 44. 750, 100. I think it's overlap. Oh, 4,500. There we go. Uh, Another 44,200, 4,300. Another one right here at 43,800, 43,900. All right, looks good. Got that marked up. Let me mark up the levels now. So we got 44, 44, 457. See the overnight high. Jackson zone and Globex. So 44, 324. Low, Globex, shelf. 4, 599. 44, 599. This is good real time. Lows, 712. Perfect for gap fills. 44, 500. That's fine. 43, 800. All right, I think we're good with those levels. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, July 14th. Hopefully, everyone had a great weekend. It is 6:29 right now. We got market opening up in about a few seconds. Breakout for today is going to be a buy for the regular breakout. I'll be looking for the orb in a few moments once that's set up. We are currently in a supply zone right now. So let's take a look at the overall bias for today. Hey, Daniel, morning. Morning, Lila, morning, Christian, morning, Stern, morning, everybody. Thanks, guys. Yeah, no, definitely. Um, Let me see if I have this set up here. So the overall bias for today is neutral to bearish. So I'll probably be looking for some sells today. So if I'm going to be looking for an orb entry, I'll probably be looking for price to swing to the downside. Looking over here, this is where it's going to be a little bit of a problem because they're going to be conflicting today. The orb over here, or the overall trend is currently bullish. You can see over here on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute time frames, price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. So this is going to be conflicting with what we're currently looking for with regard to the orb. So if you guys want to take the orb, I mean, feel free to take it. I don't know if I'll be taking the orb today specifically because because the trend here is currently it's currently opposite of what the overall bias is. So typically I want these to match. I want the overall bias for today, which is neutral to bearish, to line up with the overall trend. The trend here is shifting a little bit, but it's not enough for me to confirm that it's a bearish trend. So if you guys are looking to take the orb entry, I would personally, I would lean towards a sell. But the thing is, the trend here hasn't really confirmed yet, so it's going to be a little tricky for entry. All right, so we'll take a look at this in a few. Let's see, this candle is going to close shortly. If this candle does close right here, what you're going to look for is for price to break and close below this area, retest it, and come back in for entry. Confluence that you would like here is a sell momentum. So we do have that pending sell momentum right there right now in this current candle. So if this sell momentum closes, this will be a good confluence for it to be a downward sell. I'm also looking for a trend here to shift. Again, like I said, I don't think the trend here is going to shift anytime soon. So I don't think I'm going to be getting into this orb for today. I'll be watching it. If it looks really good and price kind of dumps below and swings back, then I'll possibly look to get into it. Otherwise, I'll be looking for high-low break and retest instead. But again, if you guys want to take the orb here, I preferably would look for the sell because the overall bias for today is neutral to bearish. However, the trend here, I would like the trend here to be bearish as well. So since it's not bearish right now, not exactly looking to get into this at the moment. Hey Sam, Sam said big news tomorrow. Wants to know Everyone wants to know what happens tomorrow. Yeah, so for this week so far, we have a couple news events. So we have CPI tomorrow, of course, which is going to be Tuesday, July 15th. It's going to be high key inflation, which is going to print for the next Fed decision. This isn't a weekly outlook. If you guys didn't see this, I posted this up yesterday. So my weekly outlook is neutral to bearish with regard to directional bias. Plus the daily outlook is neutral to bearish too. So we're going to be looking for some possible sells here. This doesn't necessarily mean buys are not going to be valid, but for me personally, I'm probably going to be looking for some sells here. In order for me to look for those sells, I need the trend here to confirm first. I typically haven't looked at the trend in a while. I kind of been ignoring the trend and trading in either direction. But for me personally, to be more dialed into my entries, I for sure want to look for the trend here to confirm. The more confluences, the better, of course. But if you guys want to take regular entries as is, I mean, feel free to take them. I also wouldn't really want to take any buys here because we're currently in the supply zone, right? This is not a good area to take buys because price is likely to bounce off here and swing back down lower. So what I'm going to do here, since we're not really looking at anything at the moment, is I'm going to mark up the liquidity. So I haven't marked up liquidity here. So I'll do that meanwhile. All right, going down to the 8 hour. Most of these levels down here they're for the most part relevant. So I'm just not going to mark those up. This price is not going to go this far down. I'm just going to mark up the levels that have a possibility of touching today. I don't believe the orb is filled yet. I'll take a look at it in a few, but I'm pretty sure it's not filled yet. It's a minute. Yeah, that orb hasn't been filled yet. Okay, so let's go back to the orb. So the orb hasn't been filled yet, guys. Again, we need price to break and close either above here, retest, or right below down here and retest. Hasn't done that yet, so there's no entry there yet for the orb. Um, there's just no entries here at all right now. I'll be looking for any possible confirmations, but again, in order for me to take sells here, which is what I'm looking to take, is I need to have the trend here to confirm. So I'm not really looking for anything until the trend here confirms back to the downside. If price continues to climb up, that's completely fine, but I would be careful taking any buys here because, like I said, we're inside the supply zone right here. So this is going to be an area for price to bounce and come back lower, right? So I'd just be patient on this. If you guys do want to take it, I'll mark them up for you though. So we have a possible, so if price breaks and closes past this high right here, this higher high, this could be a high-low break and retest. We have a buy signal right here too, so this could be a possible MPSV2 as well. So there's buy entries that are setting up here. It's just, it's kind of a tricky area to be taking these trades. Again, if you guys want to take them, feel free. I will follow them for you. I'm probably not going to take them. We got burnt trading in a demand zone last week. So I'm not going to be trading in these zones here unless they're for a sell. So orb hasn't filled yet, guys. Again, if you guys are looking to take the orb here, the orb is going to be the orb is going to be past this blue line or past this blue line down below. Let me just take this off, or I'll leave it up there for now. It's going to be easier for you to see where the orb's at. Christian's asking, whenever you have a chance and there's nothing happening, can you explain the parameters for the orb strategy and the high-low near new strategy? So for the orb, you're just looking for price. What you're doing is you're marking up the high and the low of the first 2 minutes of open. You're looking for price to break and close past the area, whether it's the high or the low, and then you're putting your limit order at the high or the low. So wherever price breaks, that's where you're going to put your limit order. So for example, right here, if price breaks past this blue line right here, which is the high of the orb, orb just stands for opening range breakout. So this is the opening range high right here. If this here ends up closing, guys, and you guys want to take this orb for a buy, feel free. The entry is going to be right here. So entry will be at 44,564. Confluences that you want to look for are going to be momentum. So for example, right here, we have a buy momentum. So that's going to be one confluence to the upside. The other confluence is trend. So we have overall trend here, which is bullish. So if you guys want to take this entry right here, I wouldn't take this because this candle here didn't necessarily close above it. It closed right at the line. This would be a tricky entry because this thing tried to close above it and pulled back at the last second. On top of that, the overall bias is bearish. So just be careful. Hey, what's up, Steven? All right, so if this candle closes above, this will start to set up for a possible orb entry for a buy. Again, like I said, I'm not really looking to take buys here right now at this very moment because the bias for today is bearish. And then also, we're currently within the demand zone right now. So this could be a setup for both the orb entry and then also the high-low break and retest. So same thing right here, Christian. Like as price breaks and closes above a high, you have to mark the nearest high or the nearest low. So for example, right here we have the nearest high. If price breaks past it, it has to fill in the next candle. If it doesn't fill in that first candle, you cancel it. So right here, there's no high-low break and retest off this high level. Since this candle here didn't fill it on the first test, or the first candle that passed it, there's not going to be an entry here for a high-low break and retest. Same with the orb here. So if the orb hits 40, which it already did, see how price pushed up to that 40, but it never came back down to fill. There's no entry here for the high-low break and retest, and there's no entry here for the orb. So no orb, no high-low break and retest for the day, guys. We'll keep looking for opportunities here as price moves along. Price is still within the demand zone. So right here, price may sweep from this area and it might come back down. So this could be a possible sweep area for anybody who is looking to catch a sweep here. The ATR is currently at 19 right now, so I'd probably go for 2020 if you guys are looking to catch a sweep here. So sweep's currently running right there. I'm not in this sweep, but I'm just going to use this as a confluence to take sells back to the downside. So the sweep right there just filled for full TP. That was a 20-point sweep. If you guys want to go for the 30, I mean, you can still go for the 30 right there as well. And the 30 right there was hit. So sweep for 20, sweep for 30. This is why I said not to take any buys around this area, guys, because we're currently in the supply zone. So this is what's happening. Price is coming up. It's bouncing off the supply zone and it's coming right back down. So there goes that right there. That was a sweep. With that sweep setup right there, I'm not going to look for price to come back down. So I'm going to look for a high-low break and retest to the downside. For the most part, that's kind of all I'm going to be looking for, really. There's a possible MPSV2 setting up right here, but like I said, this area right here is not a good area to take buys in. This price can just continue dropping down lower. No, Christian, it could be any high. It could be a high low, a higher high. It could be a lower low. It could be a lower high. Any of the, it has to be the most recent high low. So for example, here, if price breaks above this area again, and this high here is established, it doesn't have to be a higher high. It can be a higher low. It just has to be any high low, but it has to be the most recent one. So it can't be some high that's like way out here. So for example, if you have a high that's like way out here, like over here on this side, this doesn't count. It has to be the one that's right next to it because you're looking for the most recent price action. So this higher high right here is not established yet, right? If price pushes past this area, it could still push a higher high higher. You need to have a low here established before you can confirm that. So it could be any high low. So here now, as you guys can see, there's now a low. So since there's a low right here, this means that this high has been established. Now that this high is established, you can look for a possible high-low break and retest if price pushes back above this area. But again, like I said, I'm not really looking to take any buys here. I'm looking to take sells, but I'm waiting for the trend here to shift back to the bottom before I can start looking for some sells here. So I need the trend here to shift back to a bearish trend before I start looking for any opportunities. Either way, there's no entries here right now, and I wouldn't really want to take buys in the supply zone anyways. So if I was going to look for some buys, they would have to be in this upper area right here. Thanks, Christian. Yeah. No, baby Alina's crying right now, so I could hear it from my office. I was gonna bring her in here, but it's just gonna be too much for me to be looking at once. Maybe once she's like more on a proper schedule or proper routine, I'll bring her in here and she'll probably take over Cody's chair since Cody's never coming to work. It's crazy. That guy's never in here anymore. Kai's in here. He's here somewhere in my office. I just don't know where. Oh yeah, thanks, Christian. I'm gonna mark up opening price right here as well. All right, opening price is right here. All right, there's still no entries here right now, guys. It looks like we might be going into a range here. If you guys are looking to take any entries, I'll mark them up for you guys. But again, there is just nothing here at the moment. Again, if you guys want to take a buy here, there's going to be a high-low break and retest, possibly setting up right here off this higher high. It'll be breaking out of this demand zone, or not, sorry, this supply zone. So if you guys are looking to take this right here, this could be a possible high-low break and retest. Yeah, big bullish push right there. So you'd have to see this green candle break and close past this blue line right here, guys. If you guys are looking to take this as a high-low break and retest, your pending order would be waiting right here at 44,605. It has to fill on the following candle. If it doesn't fill on this following candle, there's no entry there. You have to cancel your order. So again, if you're looking to take this entry, your pending order would be right here at 44,605. If it doesn't fill on this one, there's no entry. I'm not taking this entry right here, guys. Like I said, we're in the supply zone right here. So it's not really going to be the best area to be taking trades because there can be possible fake outs right here. Possible fake out, pull back into the supply. Doesn't mean that this isn't going to hit, but I'm gonna play it safe. It's Monday today. From my stats and from my back testing and from all of my AI data, Mondays and Fridays are obviously the riskier days to trade. I've already known that. But from my actual data and back testing, it's also confirmed that those are the riskier days for the orb, and those are the riskier days for these directional moves because we have a lot of price manipulation here for market open for the week. So this never filled right here, guys. Since it hasn't filled, if this doesn't fill within the next 5 seconds, you're going to have to cancel this order because it never filled and now it's going to be set into a new direction. All right, so no fill right there. You have to cancel that order, guys. So you guys can see market's pretty choppy today with regard to entries. Price has not came back to fill any of these orders. Price will kind of push up a little bit, maybe not hold, come back down, reverse, etc. So with that said, there's just nothing here to take here at this very moment. So there's nothing here. There was no order today. Actually, no, the orb did fill right here. Sorry, guys. I totally screwed this up. The orb actually did fill, but I was getting this mixed up because I was explaining to Christian the difference between the high-low break and retest and the orb. The orb did actually come back down and refill right here. So the orb came back down, filled right there, and hit TP for 40 points. So if you guys caught that right there, nice work. If you guys didn't catch that, it's fine. The thing that didn't fill was a high-low break and retest. So let me just re-explain that before there's any confusion. For the high-low break and retest, it has to fill on the following candle. If it doesn't fill, you cancel that order. For the orb over here, it could fill whenever. So once it breaks past the either the orb high or orb low, you're gonna look for price to come and retest like it did right here and full TP right there for the orb. So if you guys caught the orb, nice work. If you guys didn't catch the orb, it's completely fine. For me personally, I don't know if I would have caught the orb here because like I said earlier, it went against the overall bias for today. So for this bullish push here, this could be temporary. It doesn't necessarily have to hold. But anyways, full TP on that right there. And I think there is let's see how far this thing came down from. Yeah, this is basically the only entry that came up for today so far. The orb might push up to that 100. I did right there. So it's Longy got it for 100 right there. Nice work, Longy. All right, so there's only one entry today so far, guys. One entry. I'm going to clean this up right here. Solid. Yeah, it's Longy got in, moved stop loss of 50, then he got the 100 because it never retraced back down further. Nice work, Longy, on catching that. Yeah, because price pushed up right here to the 50 and it never came back down. All right, so I'm glad to see the orb here hit. That was ideal. Let's see, price over here filled at 643. Yeah, see, I wouldn't have taken that orb personally. For me personally, I wouldn't have taken it because the orb filled right here at the 643 candle. And the problem is that it was within the supply zone. So it's all good. For those of you who caught it, nice work. If you guys didn't catch it, completely fine. Just wait for the next opportunity here. Okay, so if this is the case and price continues to climb up, We might look for a possible buy over here, but at the very moment, it's going to be tricky because we have a red flag right here. We have a sessions right here, which is a New York high. It's also lined up with liquidity zone. Nick got the orb for 95 points. Nice work, Nick. Nice work, guys. Yeah, for whoever caught the orb there, solid work. I'm gonna keep looking for opportunities right here. Let's check the calendar real quick. Yeah, there's not really any news today, so it's hard to find a catalyst right now. We have CPI tomorrow, which is going to be big. We have CPI inflation rate, CPI June core inflation rate, month over month, year over year, New York Empire State Manufacturing Index. A lot of news tomorrow morning, pre-market. And then Wednesday, we have Producer Price Index, PPI, year over year, month over month for June. Thursday, we have retail sales, jobless claims, retail sales month over month, year over year, import prices, gas, auto sales, etc. And then Friday, we have Michigan consumer sentiment, building permits, housing starts, etc. too. So we got news pretty much every day this week except for today. There's nothing going on today. Everything else is pretty jam-packed with news. And here are my stats for the year and the month so far. If you guys didn't see them, I posted them in the Discord. Last week I was up 20,395. I was hoping this week we're gonna increase that a little bit more. Haven't thought to increase my risk yet, but possibly we'll see over the next couple days or probably until the end of this month. So these are my stats for the week last week, and then here are my stats for the year so far. So for the year so far, currently at 450,490 gross, 363,092 net. And you guys can see here that my yield curve is starting to smoothen out again. So you can see over here from April up until probably June, it's very choppy. Had a couple wins, couple losses, couple wins, couple losses, back and forth. And then here, starting in July, we've started to have a nice, healthy upwards trend right here. So I'm hoping for the rest of the year, we're going to have some more wins here, especially because I've been utilizing AI to help with our analysis. And we have our set playbook really for breakout entries, directional entries, and sideways entries that it'll be beneficial for us to just continue to have this upward stride. But we'll see. I mean, we can't really predict how the market's going to be, but for the most part, it looks like we do have a pretty solid game plan in play for the rest of the year. So we'll see. Hopefully this smoothens out and continues to become consistent, and hopefully we can hit that 1 mil. I mean, that's the goal for this year, to hit a mil, right? Currently at 400, so I'm kind of staggered behind a little bit, but we do have, we have about another 6 months or so to kind of just push this through. 5 months actually. All right, so right here, guys, we don't have anything here at the moment. We have a current high over here that's currently established. With this said, this is going to be a little tricky because we have the New York high above. So if you're looking to take entry here, you're going to have trouble because you have the sessions right here. This is a red flag. We got price kind of in limbo right here. So looking back over here, guys, we had an MPS V2 which came up. Not sure if anybody took it or decided to take it. We had a buy signal right here, price retraced, confirmed with this green candle right here. And this here was an MPS V2 for a buy. There's no high-low break and retest yet, but this was a MPS V2 for a buy. So there's a couple entries which came up. If you guys are just joining right now, there's a sweep right here that came up at the supply zone. There was a MPS V2 that happened right here. They both pretty much counter-reacted with each other, sweep, and then back into the MPS V2 for direction. And then lastly, the orb over here hit full TP for 100 points as well. So depending on what you guys were looking to take, again, my playbook over here. Let me show you guys my playbook again. So this is my daily trading playbook. I'm looking for high-low break and retest or MPS V2s, liquidity sweeps or V1 variations, and then 2-minute orb, momentum orb or momentum breakout. I'm mainly taking these on the left. High low break and retest, liquidity sweep, and 2-minute momentum orb. But again, if you want to take something that's similar, but not with a pending order, MPS V2 would be your choice for directional moves, and V1 variations and momentum breakouts. These are all the market entry orders, and I'll put that over here so you guys know. Not that it's really necessary, but I think this helps so that you guys know the difference between these entries here. For me personally, I like taking limit orders, so that's why I've been taking these other entries. There's nothing wrong about taking the market orders. The only thing that I don't like about them is that you will get caught in slippage. And that's why for me, I don't like taking those types of entries, even though they do hit. There we go. So again, right here, liquidity sweep, that's a sideways strategy. MPSV2, that's a directional strategy. There's another MPSV2 here, which is currently running for a sell back to the downside. This is where it becomes a little tricky because like there's things that you don't have to confirm. Like for example, you don't really have to confirm trend here, but I like to confirm trend. And then also I like to confirm my daily bias. My daily bias is neutral to bearish. So here's the thing, if price decides to swing back down, then that's perfectly fine. I'll be looking for entries to the downside, right? So I'm not completely out of the market yet. I'm going to be waiting for price here to confirm opportunities in the other direction. So we'll see what happens here. But again, like I said, I'm not really forcing any trades today. It's Monday. Monday is a riskier day to trade because the market is just getting into swing for this week. What I need to check is my stock portfolio. I got earnings this week. Let me just check this real quick. Hmm. Trying to get at it. I got into this position last week. Here, let me do it. I'm gonna run my AI through this real quick. Let's figure out where the resistance is to get out. Let's go back to our main chart. Stocks. Yeah, so I made a couple $1,000 on Delta Airlines last week. What I've been doing on the side, guys, is I've been trading stocks. I just trade the earnings, whatever is active for that week. Currently within this position right here. So I was trying to aim for the resistance, which is way up here, but I'm probably gonna get out a little earlier. Let's see, where is the resistance at? Hmm. Resistance is still up here at the 60. Guess I could hold on to it for a little bit. So if you guys are looking to trade stocks, these are kind of what I'm looking for. On Tuesday, I'm probably going to trade JP Morgan. I already have a lot of money in JP Morgan right now. I'm currently up with JP Morgan I'm up 112%. So I'm going to hold on to it. And then after earnings is released, I'm probably going to jump out of that position there. Um, I've been holding on to JP Morgan for a couple of years now. If you guys are looking to trade stocks on Wednesday, these are the stocks that I have kind of covered. If you guys want this, just let me know. I'll take a screenshot of this document. I'll show you guys what's in play for this week. Basically, the ones I have highlighted in green are the ones that I'm looking to take. They're like easy flips, well-known companies, and I'm only going for the ones that are estimated to make a certain amount of profit. Okay, that's fine. I'll just leave this for now. Anyways, back to our charts over here, guys, for YM. There's nothing here to take at the moment. Price is currently back in the supply zone right now. If you guys took that MPSV2 to the downside, guys, looks like they already hit full TP. So this is the MPSV2 to the downside right here. Full TP for the MPSV2. Um, this could be a high-low break and retest right here. So there's a high-low right there. If this candle comes up and touches it within the next 40 seconds, this could be a possible high-low break and retest to the downside. This thing's a little tricky though, because the trend hasn't confirmed yet back to the downside. So the 1 minute here is shifting to the downside, the 5 minute hasn't confirmed, and the 15 minute hasn't confirmed. So I'm not really looking to take any sells here until the trend has been fully confirmed. So it hasn't been fully confirmed yet. The 1 minute's bearish. It's barely bearish, just turned bearish right now. The 5 minute's still bullish, and the 15 minute is still bullish right here. So I'm not really looking to take any entries here at this very moment. And it looks like this here is not going to get filled. If it doesn't get filled, you have to cancel your order. And it looks like there's no fill there. So because there was no fill, you cancel your order. And now you just wait for the next opportunity to reappear. So again, it's just going to be a matter of time here. I'm trying to get out of this at 57. All right, there's no entries there right now, guys. I'm gonna check something over here real quick. Trying to offload all of my basically my dead weight stocks that aren't really carrying their weight. A lot of these stocks that I took, I actually were holding them long term, but I'm at that point where I'm just going to be flipping them weekly now for the weekly earnings. I have a lot of intel that I'm holding. I need to offload it so I can put this into the next flip this week. Damn, my resistance is super high. I was going to try to get out at the next resistance, but it's kind of far off. 28, 26. Damn, I should have sold this off on March. So I'm gonna get out right here at 24. Cisco. All right, let's go back to YM, guys. So looking at YM right here, there's still no entries at the moment. Price is kind of just going back and forth here. It is, mark this up, new low right there. So like I said, guys, I'm not really looking for any entries here until I have confirmation of trend. Trend right now is currently a little mixed. The 1 minute's neutral, 5 minutes bullish, 15 minutes bullish, 30 minute is bullish neutral. 1 hour is bearish neutral, and the 4 hour here is neutral. So it's pretty mixed across the board with regard to the overall trend. I don't necessarily want to take trades when they're kind of mixed like this. I want these to confirm a little more before I start looking for any opportunities for entry. Looking over here at my daily outlook for the day, it's neutral to bearish. The macro tone is cautious sentiment into the week with weaker global risk cues and tariffs in the headlines. Market is digesting a sharp run up over the past few weeks. Technical posture is still in a macro uptrend, but the price is hovering under key resistance 600 and 45,000 and failed to hold the Globex high. So you can see over here, price is trying to get above a certain area, but it's not really like holding it. So looking over here at the buys, it's leaning bearish below 44,500, which is where price is currently at right now. It's kind of sitting within this area. So if you look at this headline right here, the bias flips bullish only on a reclaim of 44,600 plus with confirmation. So what we're saying here and what we're looking at is I'm not really looking for price to flip and for the trend here to be bullish until price breaks above this area and pushes up higher, right? Like pushes past this supply zone because we got a huge supply zone right here, guys. Supply zone number 2. So even if price pushes above this area, it can still shift to the downside. But looking at current price, there's just nothing here at the moment, right? Price here is pretty much kind of just sitting down the middle. We're getting a lot of consolidation here. As you guys saw earlier, there's no news coming up for the day, right? We look at the news for the day, there's nothing for Monday. Tomorrow's when the big news event happens. We have CPI tomorrow. We have inflation rate. We have year-over-year inflation rate. We got New York Empire State Manufacturing Index. All the big news events happening tomorrow. So it's just a matter of time until this is until this here will shake up the market. But again, I'm not really looking to take here anything yet. The bias here is still neutral bearish for the day, but again, I'm looking for the trend here to shift. If the trend stays above, that's completely fine. It's just we need to have that confirmation before I start looking for anything to actually take. There's a possible high-low break and retest right here, guys. Again, there's no trend confirmation, so I'm not looking to take any buys here. Price is also within the demand zone, so it's a little tricky for a buy here, but if you guys want to take it, this here is a high-low break and retest that is currently running. So we had a price breaking close past this lower high. This candle right here, we tested it. So this is a high-low break and retest that's currently running. There's a lot of reasons for me not to take this trade though. So, if you want to take this, take it at your own risk. For one, the trend here hasn't confirmed for bullish yet. It's kind of just all over the place. The other thing here is that prices within the supply zone, right? I think this is the biggest red flag for me. Price is within this box right here, which is a supply zone. Supply zone is areas where price typically bounces off for a sell. So it doesn't necessarily mean price is not going to break above and push up higher, but your odds of price pushing out of this area is unlikely, especially because you already had a fake out up here, right? Price pushed above, faked out, and now it's reversing back to the downside here. So just be smart about your trades, guys. Don't force anything here. You just gotta be smart about your positions, especially if you're trading with a small stop, right? 20-point stop and get stopped out pretty quickly. Yeah, sure. If you guys want to see it here, I'm gonna post it over here in in the um in the Discord. Here, I'll post it in the team chat. All right, I posted it in the Discord right there, guys. So Kim, if you want to look at that, and Lila, I don't know if you guys are trading stocks, but I have a lot of stock in like it's all of my investment portfolios that I have. They're usually just like sitting there, but I've started to take these earning trades. So they're in order right here. We got this one from Monday, which is JP Morgan. I'm already up a lot with here, and I'll show you guys where I'm at with that. With my portfolio. So I'll show you guys. Most of my portfolio has kind of I mean it's dropped a lot because I yeah. So here's my stock portfolio. I had a lot of stocks here, but like I said, I've been selling them off and I've just been flipping them for earnings. So like this was from last week. Like I said, I took Delta Airlines. I bought about 7,562 in shares. I made about 1,000, so that's a 12% gain, which is pretty good. This happens within like a day. So these are like safe bets because even if you guess wrong, you own the stock, so you can just hold on to it, and when it comes back up, you can sell it off. So that's kind of what I did right there. Like I said, I'm already holding JP Morgan right here. I bought 2,971 shares of JP Morgan. I'm up 3,326. So I'm up 111% already. They're having another earnings report tomorrow on Tuesday. So I'm trying to buy some more. And then once this pushes up to like maybe 5,000, I'll probably sell it off. I'm already up a crazy amount. And these are stocks, these aren't options. So like the percentages, they're huge compared to like options, which are kind of inflated since you're buying the strike prices for those. But yeah, if you guys are interested in that, feel free to take a look. All right, there's nothing going on here, guys. Price is kind of just going back and forth, like I said earlier. If I was to take anything here, it would be I mean, it would be a sell, of course, because we're within the supply zone. But the trend here hasn't confirmed, so it's going to be hard for me to want to take anything here yet. 15 minutes bullish, 5 minutes bullish, 1 minute here is neutral. They got to be all aligned in one direction in order for me to want to take any trades here. So if anything, if I want to take some buys, I need price to break out of the supply zone, push up here, and I'll possibly look for some entries up here. But where price is currently sitting right now, not really messing with it at the moment. All right, looks like a sweep happened right here off this high. So we had this high right here. Price looks like it actually swept from this. So I didn't take the sweep here, but I'm just marking it up so you guys can have an idea. So now that we have a possible sweep right here, if price does continue to drop down lower, it could be pretty nice setup. But I mean, either way, there's no confirmation of trend, so nothing that I'm really looking for here. Price is just consolidating within the supply zone now. Consolidation right here down the middle. Let's see. Lila's asking who's your broker. Robinhood sucks. I use Charles Schwab. So it used to be TD Ameritrade, but they got bought out by Charles Schwab, so it kind of just transferred everything over. I use this platform right here, Thinkorswim platform. So the screenshot right here is my Charles Schwab account. And you guys can see here, I'm up pretty heavy. This is like for this year so far. So I'm up 43%, 8,764 unrealized gains and losses. Um, This means that I haven't closed out. These are all the floating positions. Yeah, Charles Schwab is pretty good. I mean, they're solid for, they've been around forever, so they're a good option if that's something that you want to use. Okay, there's a possible high-low break and retest right here for a buy, guys, if anybody's looking to take that. Again, it's still within the supply zone, so, like I said earlier, guys, a little tricky area to be trading in. But if you guys do want to take this right here, this is a high-low break and retest. Price broke and closed above the higher high right here. Price is now retesting it, so it's currently active and running. But like I said, I want to trade within the supply zone right here. I want price to be outside here, and I'll be looking to take entries out here, right? Not inside the supply zone down here. So it's currently running in profit right there. I was a little tempted to get into this as soon as I saw it close right there, but like I said, I'm gonna stick to my game plan, guys. If I don't have any entries here today on Monday, it's completely fine. I'm just not gonna get greedy. Of course, there's just a lot of reasons not to take any trades around this specific area. So price is kind of just sitting right there down the middle. 20 points already hit right there, so the 120's pretty much been done with. If you guys are taking this trade, once it reaches 30 points, which is going to be right here, I'll draw a line. You should move your stop loss and profit to 10 points. So it's not there yet, but if and when price does reach this black line right here, you should be moving your stop loss and profit. You don't have to, but that's what I would be doing. My auto trail would be filling right here. Okay, at this point, my auto trail would have filled right there. And my stop loss would be in profit right here at 10 points. That'd be a safeguard in case price decides to reverse on you. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend using Robinhood, guys. If you guys are using if anything, Webull is a little better, but Robinhood, their executions are not super good. So if you want to trade stocks, I use Charles Schwab, which was formerly TD Ameritrade. They're great, no issues with them. Execution times are proper. Don't get caught in trades or anything like that. It's been pretty solid overall. It looks like if you guys move your stop loss and profit, looks like you might have been pulled out in profit right here. Pulled out in profit at 10 already. So this is why I have the safeguard in play, because I don't want to get caught in price shifting on me like that. Either way, it just wouldn't be an entry that I would have wanted to take here. We'll keep following it though. If price decides to flip back the other way, then great. If it doesn't, then we'll kind of see what happens here. Price might come back, retest the entry, and then maybe push right back up. But either way, the setup here wouldn't have been good for me for, different reasons. Nice. Jonathan took the high-low scalp for 30 points. He said, "Thank you, Sean. Have a good day." Nice work, Jonathan. Yeah, so Jonathan caught that for 30 and he's now out for the day. Solid. There's a lot of different risk to rewards that you guys can use. If you want to do a 1-to-1, you can do a 30-30. If you want to do based off ATR, you can do 20-20. If you want to do what I'm doing, 40-20, 40 to TP, 20 stop loss with a trailing stop at 30, which automatically moves stop loss and profit to 10 points. But, this just wasn't the best setup. So that's why I didn't take it. I mean, it would have been nice to just lock in 10 points there, but it's okay. Not really looking to force anything here. You guys already know what happens when you guys try to force trades, right? You try to force trades and everything just goes to shit. That's just how it is. It's just how it is and how it's always been. So don't trade off your emotions, guys. Trade off your trading plan. My trading plan here is confirm the trend. The trend here is a little confirmed for a bullish buy now. So we have the 15-minute over here. Price is above the pivots. Trend meter is green. Pivots are angling to the upside. Same with the 5-minute here. Price is above the pivots. Trend meter is green. Pivots are angling to the upside. Same with the 1-minute here. Same with this. Price is above the pivots. Trend meter is green. Pivots are angling to the upside. So this trade over here is still technically running, guys. This high-low break and retest is still technically running to the 40. There's now going to be opportunity for a high-low break and retest right here as well. Off this high right here, which is at the 44,623. The thing with this trade here, guys, is that I don't overlap trades. So if this trade right here is still technically running, I wouldn't overlap into this one here. I'd have to wait for this one to actually be done and then look for myself to get into here if I wanted to. So 623 would be the fill there. This here hasn't hit yet, so I wouldn't get into that next one, at least not yet. All right, so I'm not going to be getting into this high-low break and retest, guys. There's another one that's running alongside it, but it's overlapping. So like I said, if these trades overlap, I would not get into the following one here. Like this here would have to hit TP first, and then I would look for it to come down, fill, and then I would get into this one next. But I wouldn't get into both of them at the same time. If you want to extend this one and just push it even further higher, you can do that. But I wouldn't get into a brand new trade here. So almost full TP right here for this one. And the other one's currently still running. So right here, high-low break and retest, full TP, or almost. It's off by like a point. There you go, full TP. So if you guys caught that high-low break and retest, full TP right there. There's another one currently running right next to it. Like I said earlier, I'm not in this position because I'm not going to overlap positions that are running alongside each other. All right, so full TP right here. There's a lot of entries which have came up. I didn't really take anything yet because a lot of things here just haven't met my criteria. Um, this is the area where I'd like to take trades though. Like I said earlier, I'd like to take trades above here. There's also an MPSV2 that filled right here too, I think. Yeah, right here. So there's a lot of entries here that just filled right after each other. There's an MPSV2 which is down here too, and it is currently running. But like I said earlier, they're all overlapping each other, so I wouldn't really take these entries because they're overlapping. I would take them as separate entries. And for my I don't know if there's prop firms for stocks, guys, but I don't trade prop firms for stocks. I only trade my own personal account. This is my Roth account. You can see over here, my Roth contributory IRA. This was my account that I had when I was still working my normal job. So when I was still working my job as an attorney at about like 20,000, which was in my Roth account from working at that firm for a couple years. And I've just kind of just been putting in dividend stocks. Now I'm actively trading them, so I'm making a lot more. Like I would make these kinds of dividends maybe like yearly, but now I'm making them like pretty much weekly because I'm just flipping the stocks during earnings season. Well, there's earnings every week, so it's not necessarily just earnings season, but whatever is active for that week. Yeah, I don't know if there's any prop firms for stocks. I mean, that would be cool. I wonder if there if there was, that'd be something I'd probably be interested in because you could flip stocks a lot easier than you can flip. I mean, it's the same thing actually. It's not. It's just with stocks. If you like screw up with your position, you can just hold on to it, and then it'll recover at some point. See, with futures here, things are so expensive that like it just becomes almost impossible to uh to get out of certain things. Because then you end up hitting your margin or like there's too much risk involved and you can't hold on to a position forever. With stocks, it's like you could buy it and then just hold on to it. That's why I only buy big names or like names that I know aren't going to go bankrupt. All right, so again, we don't have much going on here, guys. Price is kind of just sitting around. All right, so we got price just kind of going back and forth between this area right here right now. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of entries here that are currently running alongside each other. I wouldn't overlap the entries. I would take them as separate entries. So I know there's an MPS V2 that's currently running or was running with the high-low break and retest, but I wouldn't take it alongside each other. I would wait for another entry here to come up. So because we're now like in a fresh zone, what I'll be looking for here personally is I'll look for a high-low break and retest from this level right here at 44,000. 44,633. That's what I'll be looking for. All right, let's see what we got here. Still nothing here at the moment, but again, let's take a look at the overall trend. Overall trend right here is, I mean, it's still somewhat bullish here on the 1 minute, but price is starting to shift back down. So if it shifts back down, then we don't really have that overall trend. We really don't have an overall trend overall with a higher time frame. So the 4 hour over here is neutral. You can see prices in between the pivots. The trend meter is blue, meaning that price is neutral right now with regard to trend. The 1 hour over here is also, it's more of a bearish neutral. The price is in between the pivots, but the trend meter is red. Looking over here on the 30-minute, price is above the pivots. Trend meter is blue, and price is trying to shift to the upside. 15 minutes bullish, price above the pivots, trend meter green, pivots angling to the upside. 5 minute here, price is also bullish, price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling to the upside. The 1 minute here is different. So the 1 minute over here is currently flipping to a bearish bias. We currently have price below the pivots. The trend meter has turned red on this specific candle, and price is starting to shift to the downside now. So with that being the case, I don't know if this here is going to be a valid entry for a buy anymore. Price may come down. It may break below the supply zone right here. As you guys remembered, my overall bias for today was neutral to bearish, right? So this might start to play its part. Market open right here at 6:30. It kind of pushed up a bit, or it pushed down and then it pushed up, and then now it's coming back down. So the overall bias here was bearish to begin with. So if that's the case, I'll be looking for the trend here to shift back to the downside and then maybe look for possible buys here. The only problem is I don't think this is going to happen by 8 o'clock, right? 8 o'clock is coming up right here. I don't think there's enough time in this session right now for this 5 minute to come below. And there's definitely not going to be enough time for this 15-minute here to come below as well. So I'm probably not going to take any entries for today, guys. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to keep watching the markets. But just from what I can see here, there's probably not going to be any entries for me to take unless price flips back up and we take a buy. But looking at this here, the 1 minute is now shifting back down, and the 5 and 15 are not going to have enough time to catch up to it. So this here could be a possible sweep. Price may come down, sweep this area, and swing back up. I mean, there's a lot of things here that can happen. Hey, what's up, Brock? Morning. Yeah, Sam said I knew it's fake buying. Yeah. Well, the thing is, price has been sitting within the supply right here, so I was waiting for the fake out to happen, right? I mean, this was a pretty clean fake out right here, honestly. As price came down, it looked like price was going to shift to the downside. It faked out, and then now it's coming back down. So yeah, definitely a little tricky right there. All right. See, there's nothing for me to take here right now, guys. Again, I'm still waiting. Just waiting for this here to confirm something here. All right, price is coming lower. All right, price is starting to dump now. So it looks like the bearish bias is now starting to confirm. So like I said earlier, my bias for today was neutral to bearish. It stayed neutral for a bit, never really flipped to bullish. Like I said, in order for it to be bullish, price would need to break above this supply zone up here. Supply zone number two. Never did that. Price stayed below here. Now we're flipping back to the bearish direction that we anticipated on open. So we got price coming below. Like I said earlier, this is going to be tricky because I don't think, well, the 5 minute might catch up. So if you look over here on the 5 minute, price may break below the pivots and we might have a shift in trend. But the main thing here is the 15 minute. I don't think that's going to happen, right? The 15 minute over here, I mean, it's a possibility. It can happen, but it's going to have to happen within the next two candles, which is not going to have that much of a push unless we get a huge breakout to the downside. So as much as I would like to take a trade here for a sell, my trend here hasn't confirmed, so I'm not really going to look to take it. What I'll do here is I'll mark up possible opportunities for you guys if you guys are looking to take entries here. There's an MPSV2 which ran to the downside right here. If anybody caught that. So you guys can see there's entries that are coming up. It's just they're not meeting my criteria. Like this here, the trend was confirmed to the downside, so I wouldn't really take trades opposite of the trend. We're starting to get into this area where there's a lot of red flags. So if price drops lower from this point, there's going to be a sessions, which is right here. This is the London low. Price comes down any lower, we have the Asia high right here. But yeah, overall here, it looks like price is just ranging within this area down the middle. Sideways range. Nice. Sam City took the sweep for 3 pips before full TP. Got it at 15. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it looks like Sam might have taken the sweep right here. Yeah, quick push right there. All right. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I'm just not really seeing anything here right now, so I'll continue to follow through. Chris said, good day today, 2 MPSV2s, and he's out. Nice, Chris. Yeah, solid work right there. All right, so there goes Sam's entry right there. Looks like it hit your full TP already, Sam. So there's a sweep right there. If you guys took that, I think most of you guys would have taken that for like maybe a 30-30, base it off the ATR. So if you're wondering where that sweep was taken from, the sweep was taken from this level right here. It's taken from this lower low. So lower low within the confluence range right here. Let's see, Christian said he took a loss on the high-low break and retest. Oh, you took this one right here for a sell, Christian? So for this high-low break and retest, it would have cut into the sessions right here, so I wouldn't have taken that one right there. I mean, the red flags are still valid here, right? Like I still wouldn't take the trade there because this whole area would be an area of manipulation. But it's okay. I mean, if you took that trade there, it's fine. At least I'm hoping you saw that there was a session right there because it's still going to apply. Like if this was the case, I would still not take the trade because we have the sessions right there at that point. But it's okay if you took that. Um, just think like in the future, you still want to avoid the red flags. The red flags are okay for sweeps, but not for directional moves, right? So I mentioned to you guys this before. The red flags are going to be okay for breakouts because usually they break past those areas. But for my daily playbook over here, like these directional strategies, you typically don't want to take entries that have to go into red flags. And the reason for that's because manipulation tends to happen near the red flags, right? And that's exactly what happened here. For the liquidity sweeps, you're okay with manipulation because that's what you want to happen, right? You want price to come down, grab your liquidity, and then manipulate back in the opposite direction. So it's all good. I mean, again, so another reason I wouldn't have taken that trade right there, Christian, is because the trend here didn't confirm yet, right? That's what I was waiting for. So like for me, I was waiting for the trend here to confirm one side. We do have the daily bias here, but the main thing I was looking for is really the trend. If we had the trend and we had daily bias, then for sure I would have taken that trade with you. But because there wasn't any trend, that's why I was kind of holding back on it. It's all good. I mean, you're taking it for 1 to 2 anyway, so the next entry that you take, Christian, it'll make back that loss, and then you also make profit on top of it. So it's all good. Just a matter of time until hopefully it comes up. All right, so there's nothing here right now. Again, if there's questions that you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. I'm really kind of just sitting out and waiting for confirmation here. Let me check JP Morgan real quick. See, the thing is, I want to buy back into JP Morgan, but this support's not till right here. This thing's been bullish. I'm probably not going to mess with that one for this. Let's see. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to get into JP Morgan because my positions are probably not going to sell off by today. Maybe get to Goldman Sachs. I'll have to market the support resistance for areas for entry. I'll have to take a look at the earnings later this week. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get into this JP Morgan. I'm already in the JP Morgan, so I'm probably gonna get out. Let's see. Out of this position. 300 is kind of a stretch. Let me just set my order now. So if it does push up to 300 tomorrow, get out. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a bit of a stretch. Let me see what my earnings are for that one. About $4 or $5. So $4 or $5 from here. I get out at 96. 296. Yeah, all right. Looks like I'm gonna be offloading all my positions for the most part. I'm gonna get out of my Delta Airlines position at 57. Let me try to get out of my Intel position at 24. I'm gonna get out of my JP Morgan position at 296. Man, I made a killing off JP Morgan already. So if that's the case, I'll be up almost 150% within a couple months. All right, not bad. One second, guys. I'm gonna step away for 1 second. All right, guys, I am back. So let's see. We got a possible high-low break and retest above this area right here. Um, let's take a look at the trend. So the trend here is still pretty bullish. Um, the trend here is still pretty bullish. If you guys want to take this as a high-low break and retest, this could be opportunity right here. It's going to be at 44,590. See, Sam said MPSV2 running for 15. Okay, solid. So looks like Sam is already here for the MPSV2 currently. Get out at 15 already. It's tricky. It's tricky because price here is now going sideways. I mean, it's been going sideways, but now it's like super sideways because we're getting closer to 8 o'clock. We're getting some volatility here, though. Like I said, I'd prefer to take sells here. There just isn't any confirmation here with the 5 and the 15 at the moment. Yeah, it looks like you got spiked out right there, Sam. It's a random huge red candle, huh? Steven said, Sean, so no official trades today you took? No, I haven't taken anything today. There's entries that came up, but I haven't taken anything myself. So if you guys are just joining in, a couple entries that came up for today, we had the 2-minute orb right here, which came up. This was a full TP. This pushed up to 40, which would be the traditional TP. If you went for the full 100 hit TP as well. Looking over here, there was a, I believe this was a high-low break and retest. Oh, this was an MPSV2. So there's a sweep, MPSV2, MPSV2, sweep. This was a high-low break and retest. This right here was a MPSV2. This right here is a sweep. And those are the entries that came up for the day. I didn't take anything myself because my criteria just wasn't met. I was looking for the overall trend to line up with my overall bias for today. My overall bias was neutral to bearish. This is still playing true right now. So you can see over here, the key bias was neutral to bearish. It was neutral right here pretty much. And if price ends up swinging back down below from this point, it's going to be bearish. But we need price to break below this supply zone. But it's all good. It's Monday. I'm glad I didn't really take anything today. I think a lot of these trades would have stressed me out a little bit because of like what's going on right here down the middle. There's just no direction. Ideally, I'd like to see direction here, but there's just no direction with regard to the trend. The 5 minute still more of a bullish neutral. 15 minute, same thing, bullish neutral. The 1 minute over here is flat. It's flat for the most part. It's just kind of sitting in between the pivots right here. Barack said expecting a dump, but as usual, it has to stall. I like the MPSV2 sell to mature that criteria. Yeah, I agree. I think it would be nice if we would have that there come up. Sorry, guys, got my baby here in my office. I had to bring her bassinet in here, so I'm just looking over. She's in front of my desk. Um, but yeah, if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Yeah, Barack said she's already in the trading room. Yeah, I know. She's gonna learn quick. She's just gonna hear me analyzing the markets all day. Yeah, so if you guys ever see me get off the camera, it's because I'm just checking on my baby. She's she's like she's right next to me. All right, so there's nothing here right now. If you guys are looking to take the entry, guys, there could be a possible high-low break and retest right here off this lower high. Again, the confirmations aren't very strong, but the trend here is somewhat bullish. So we got the 15-minute prices above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling to the upside. Same with the 5 minute over here, price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling to the upside. The only problem here is going to be the 1 minute. So looking over here at the 1 minute, you guys can see here that price isn't necessarily above the pivots. It's in between the pivots, just going back and forth, back and forth. So I would just be careful, guys. If you guys don't have to trade today, which I'm pretty sure nobody does, I would just take it easy. Or if you do want to take it, take it at your own risk and understand that this is an area of manipulation. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, definitely. Once she's like more like stable, I'll carry her on the lives. You'll probably see her on like a little pouch right here. Just right now, she's just kind of all over the place. She's only like 3 days old, so you know she's all over. All right, so looking at this over here, guys, there's nothing going on. Price is still kind of sitting around the area. Barack said that area around the lower low must be taken with some good momentum or spikishness. Yeah, I agree. If it does come below here, it's going to have a nice big momentum push to the downside. Christian said she's absorbing the trading algorithm, right? Yeah, we'll see. See if this here will be affected by it. All right, I don't really see much here. Guys, if there's any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Looking over here at the 1 minute, price is starting to shift below to a bearish trend. The problem with this here is that the 5 minute and 15 minute have not caught up yet. So in order for me to personally want to take some trades here, also there's a lot of red flags below this area. I wouldn't really want to take any trades right here. They'd have to be farther down here for me to want to take anything. So yeah, if you guys want to take something, feel free. I will mark this up again right here. If this ends up coming up, we have a possible high-low break and retest coming up right here, actually. So right here, there's a high-low break and retest that is currently pending. If price comes up and retests this area right here, 44,544, this will be possible opportunity for entry. So look for price to break below, retest this area, come back down further. It's got to fill on this specific candle. If it doesn't fill on this candle, it has to be canceled. So you got 30 seconds left on this right here. 20 seconds left. 16 seconds. Again, I'm not in this position right here. The trend hasn't confirmed yet across the board, but the 1 minute is shifting back down. You got 5 seconds. It does not look like it's going to fill. You got to cancel that order. So price broke and closed below it. Did not retest, so there's no fill there. All right, next up, let's see what we got here. All right, nothing here yet. Looks like the volatility here is starting to get really flat, guys. As you guys can see, price here is really just consolidating and ranging within the supply zone right here. If nothing happens in the next few minutes, I'm probably just going to wrap this up early, guys. I don't want you guys to be tempted to get into anything here that's unnecessary. It seems like a lot of you guys here are pretty much done for the day already anyways. So there's no need to force anything. It's Monday, guys. Just, put that into mind. Like, if you guys are feeling tempted or you're feeling FOMO or you feel like you need to get into something, I would just wrap it up for the day. You got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to take trades. There's no need to waste a good trade or waste a good opportunity or a trade that you could have skipped today when you can just wait until tomorrow or the next day. There's news every day this week, so even though the volatility is kind of slow today, it's going to pick up on Tuesday for sure. We got a lot of inflation news. Same on Wednesday over here. We have inflation news, PPI. Thursday, we got jobless claims. And Friday, we have building permits and housing starts. So, all right, guys, 1 second. I guess I'll take her here for a little bit. You guys can see my daughter. She's just crying a little bit. Right, baby? right, she stopped crying finally. She's just hungry. There you go, baby girl. All right, guys. So looking at the chart over here, there's not really much to take. As you guys can see, price is just consolidating sideways. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, you guys can see my hands are a little full right here. We got about 4 minutes till 8, so I'm probably not going to be taking anything from now until then. Um, yeah, no trades on my end over here. As you guys can see, we had a couple of trades that came up. We had the 2 minute orb right here, which came up. That was a full TP for 40. It also pushed up to the full 100. Looking over here at our regular scalps, we had a sweep, MPSV2, MPSV2, sweep, high-low break and retest, MPSV2, sweep, and nothing else down here down the middle because price is just going back and forth sideways. So yeah, guys, if there's anything else that you guys have that you guys want me to cover, feel free to hop into the chat. Otherwise, it's about to be 8 o'clock in about 4 minutes, so it's about to be time to cut it out anyways. Hey, what's up, Gian? Yeah, no, definitely. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. You can see her. She's right here on camera. She's taking a little nap, Marms. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Rev. Yeah, Brock said, I think it's a tricky area. We need to break that demand. Yeah. Yeah, the buys here are not really going to be super good. So if you guys are looking to take buys here, guys, wait for price to break into the demand two over here or past this area. So like basically break into supply zone number two, and then look for it to push above. If it doesn't break and close above it, then there's just not going to be any opportunities there. It's okay, just fine. But yeah, if you guys are looking to take buys, look for price to break up into the supply zone. If it doesn't break into the supply zone, you're probably not going to get any buys, guys. Price is probably going to stay in limbo right here. I think the main things to look out for would be the news for tomorrow. But if anything, what I see here is price is probably just going to sit in between this middle area until price actually breaks out of here. Otherwise, it's just going to consolidate because we have a lot of high impact news events tomorrow. We got CPI tomorrow. We have PPI on Wednesday. Jobless claims on Thursday, and then Michigan consumer sentiment on Friday. So just a lot of stuff here to keep in mind. Price is probably just going to go sideways until then. And then once news comes out, we're going to have some sort of direction for the week. Sam said she looks like you or the missus. More like me, yeah. I actually look just like her when I was a baby. So she has my looks for sure. Probably the missus attitude though, personality, but for sure my looks. So, all right, guys, let me see if there's any other questions here. Yeah, Gion said girl dad for sure. Steven said she has your eyes. Yeah, I think so. Unless her eyes are open. When her eyes are open, yeah, she looks like her mom. Yeah, it's Solange said her face is going to change every 3 months. You'll see. Yeah, that's what I've heard too. So we'll see. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it. It's 8 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, today was a pretty overall good trading day. With regard to entries, there weren't really many trades here that came up that were like, I mean, there weren't really very many valid entries because the overall trend here was pretty much mixed. But for the most part, everything else hit pretty nicely. Breakout was a full TP, a bunch of scalps over here. But I think tomorrow will be better. So. All right, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap this up for the day, and we'll be back here tomorrow for the next live session.